doing these because I'm like Gladys Kravitz from Bewitched.
Why is that?
Huh?
You don't strike me as a mean mother-in-law.
I'm like the nosy neighbor. I want to know how everyone's doing. I'm like the Jewish mother of comedy. Like, how you doing? You want some soup? Just
Oh, now
eat
I
some
wish I was
chicken.
in Vegas. That would be great to be interviewed and have chicken soup while we're doing it.
That would be great. Let's do another one when you come to Vegas.
Deal.
All righty. Perfect. Let me get here to this thingamajiggy called your introduction. Hi, guys. I'm Linda Marcus Smith. You know me. Let's skip past that. Today, I have somebody I've really been looking forward to letting you get to meet, and he's sitting over there being patient. Let me get to his introduction. Let's see if he talks about himself in the third person. Most people do. Okay. Jason Pollock, comma, an entertainer known for his awkward form of stand-up comedy, has entertained audience across the region and beyond. Yeah, he cultivated his relationships with some of the industry's greatest performers when he was the manager of Rascals Comedy Club in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Some of you don't know what Rascals is. Jason has also performed all over New York City, including Caroline's, Stand Up New York, and Dangerfields. He outlived two of those clubs. Jason's screen credits, oh my gosh, his screen credits include Cinemax's The Nick, Impractical Jokers, I'm a fan, and played Bigfoot in Judah Friedlander's book, How to Beat Up Anybody. I'm a huge fan of Judah Friedlander, too. This guy
He's
has
the
been
best.
around. Welcome to the stage right now, the one and only Jason Pollock. Woo! Hi. Thank you for coming on today, Jason Pollock.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
We
explain
talked
every.
enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Okay, I like to talk about me. I'm looking at the background of everything in your room. It looks like you save figurines or wind up toys, or what is that collection
Well,
over there?
those are Funko Pops. My wife used to work at Barnes and Noble and brought them home for either damaged or free or discounted. So my I let my nerd self indulge.
I love that.
There's horror icons. There's Weird Al, Bob Ross, the Little Shop of Horrors ones.
That's so cool. What is the military picture? I think I see a flag on the
Oh,
wall.
that's Washington crossing the Delaware.
Wow,
It's
cool.
Washington in drag.
Love that. Love that. There's a
Look,
what's a little picture on top of your bookcase? Is this like books, a picture,
hold on.
couple pictures up there. Yeah, what's that?
This is oh shit. The 90s selling fish at a gourmet food store.
Wow, that's
Not
so cool.
realizing how dusty the top shelf is. My God, there's dust all over this. Who's got the time to dust?
Not me.
Your your place looks immaculate.
No, see this armoire? Look at that. It's up there.
Yeah, that's really
It's not
cool.
even painted up on top because
Is
yeah,
that blue?
yeah, it's a pretty shade like dove gray, dove blue. Isn't
Yeah,
that
that's
pretty?
really cool.
It's
How old is that?
chalk paint.
Oh wow. Did you do that yourself?
No, I had this comedian offered to do it for $100. Chris Shaw. He's like been around the country doing comedy. He just offered that I needed it painted and he gave me a price. And I said, yeah, 100 bucks.
$100 to do that is not bad.
I bought it on offer up for 40 bucks. And it's so heavy. It the bottom part is separate from the top. So the guy brought it in on a dolly and he brought it to my front door. And then he took it off the dolly and pushed it on the linoleum and wrecked my
I feel like we're
linoleum.
on Antiques Roadshow. I feel like I should be telling you a story about what you bought, but I have no knowledge of antiques. That's my wife's department.
Look at Marilyn Monroe. I have to cover up
That's
her.
a great picture.
I have to keep my head right here so you don't, so you can focus on me. If I do this, you're not going to know I'm here. I
Oh,
colored
Ma,
her
you're
lip.
beautiful.
Huh? I
Colored her
col
lip?
I colored her lips with nail polish.
Were you drunk or was it
I do this
on
stuff
purpose?
sober. Yeah. I'll show you. Hold up. This is what a great artist I am.
That's very cool. I like it. I like what you did there.
Thank you. If you look close, it's not a perfect job, but you know
That
what?
is a great picture of Marilyn. I see you, I see Marilyn, and then I look over here and see my fat face. Oh, it's
Look
just
at my fat
depressing.
face. Look at this. Look at this.
What fat face? What?
The older I
No,
get,
that's not a fat
where's
face.
this skin come from?
You must have looked like this, and then you shrunk.
Is it my brains just settling? They're coming out.
That's what it is. You seem to have your stuff together. I don't think your brains are melting just yet.
You don't think what?
I don't think brains melt either. I was gonna say I don't think your brains are melting just yet.
So you were saying in your intro, and then we'll get back to me because I know it's all about me today. You prefer to be, you were saying you have an awkward style of comedy.
Yeah, I'm a really nervous person naturally, and I kind of brought that to the stage. I used to the first few years. It took about 20 years for me to actually find my stage persona and be comfortable with the character I'm writing for. But people would say, you're funnier off stage than you are on stage, and I used to say, thanks, I appreciate the honesty. But I figured out a way to just, go up there and be myself and just be my awkward self. I even talk about it on stage. People say live like you're going to die tomorrow, but I live like I'm going to die any second, which makes me very anxious. So I just bring that nervous energy to the stage. And not only that, I think it was 2020. I was finally I always had nervous tics my whole life. In 2020, I was diagnosed with Tourette's from a neurologist. And not the kind where you yell things out, but the kind where your face ticks. And now the facial tics have stopped, but my left arm is a little wonky. So I mean, I can't win. So I went on this anti-anxiety, and I'm on metoprolol for blood pressure because I'm over 50, and now I have to get on all these meds. But that kind of mellowed out my personality. And now people would say, "I love the character you play on stage." I'm like, thanks, but I'm not really playing a character. It's just me. I'm just being my neurotic self. Kind of like
See,
mellow but neurotic at the same time.
that's a nice combination. It's interesting and it's
I,
different than other comedians up there trying to be something they're not.
oh, thank you. That I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's a compliment. There's so many, like, have you ever met people? I'm sure you have, but I hate it. I hate it when I meet somebody and they're awesome. And then they go on stage and there's something totally different and they're not even good at it. They're not even good at
They're
faking something.
trying to be a comedian. I remember when I was first starting out, everybody wanted to emulate Dane Cook. Now, it used to be so annoying. I'd be like, Dane wants his personality back. They're not stealing his jokes; they're stealing his personality. I mean, I
Exactly.
get it when you want to emulate who you admire, but it just comes a point where you have to be yourself. And then once you find your stage persona, you know who you're writing for, and the material comes easier,
It does.
if that makes
And
sense.
you know, if somebody offers you a joke, you know how to politely decline the offer because it doesn't fit who you are.
Exactly. Yeah, some comedians were nice enough to offer like, Here's what you should say instead," but it just doesn't work for me because I'm not. I mean, a lot of the comics I work with are from New York, obviously, because I'm on the East Coast in Jersey. So they'll offer me their angry Italian New York accent, a joke in that mindset, and I'm like, I can't pull that off. You could do it in your delivery, but like Billy Connolly, he can tell the most mundane story and make it hilarious, but he's got that Scottish accent that makes it so much funny. It makes everything he says so much funnier.
Yeah. Don't you love it when, like right now, storytelling kind of trumps setup punch? I love it when people are telling a story and they slip into a voice, a different voice, or an act out with a voice. I mean, it makes it
It's so much
interesting.
more fun too. I realize I'm more of a storyteller comedian. I mean, once in a while I'll throw another line out there somewhere, but yeah, I love the storytelling aspect. It makes it harder to come up with just a solid 5 minutes because you want to go longer. But yeah, I really appreciate storytelling.
Yes. Who's your favorite
I
comedian? I'll tell you who mine is.
I grew up watching, and I still watch a lot of British comedy. I admire them so much. But my favorite American comedian, the first one, it was the '80s. I saw Jake Johansson, and he had that nervous energy. He actually had a 1 hour special on HBO that in the '90s TV Guide said was one of the funniest TV moments of all time.
What's his
You don't
name?
hear much from Jake Johansson anymore. Jake Johansson,
And so,
hilarious.
who I thought was really so fabulous the first time he was on Johnny Carson was Woody Allen.
Oh, he's a hero. I'm not so much a fan of his love life, but his writing style, his movies are just works of art.
When he
We
got
just
on,
watched Stardust Memories the other night.
what?
We just watched Stardust Memories the other night. Did you ever see that one?
I think I might have a long time. I'll have to go watch it again.
Brilliant movie, kind of autobiographical about his career. You know,
Okay.
people complaining. He played a filmmaker, and people were saying you were better when you wrote your funnier stuff, not your drama. But he's an artist, and I had to do what he like. I feel like I'm such a buzzkill. I'm so sorry.
You feel like you're a buzzkill?
See, it's my neuroses coming out. I'm so sorry.
Well, why do you think
The
I
Jewish kid.
smile all the time? I feel like if I don't smile, I look like resting bitch face. So my neurosis is smiling like a nutcase. I think I look like a nutcase when I'm smiling, but I look worse with
You
my
have a
rest.
great smile. You're very attractive. You have a wonderful smile.
I'm
But
very
you can't even
marketable
look
for
like a
an old
monster.
person. What?
You can't even look like a monster when you tried.
I
I saw
can
you
get
make the
away with
demon face.
crimes.
Because who would ever suspect you?
Exactly. I was
The
sitting
innocent
at the
girl next
bar.
door.
Yeah, I was sitting at the bar next door when I was texting you this morning and not drinking because like I was just having club soda and I they had all these it's a casino bar so they had those little lunch buckets that are really like mini armored cars where they empty the machines and put, and then they have a handle on them. I'm like, wow, I could get away with a crime. I could tell, I could just see me in court. No, Your Honor, I thought it was a free gift. It had a name tag on it, was in front of my machine. I just took it home. I didn't know it had $5 million in it. How would I know? What's the duct tape on it for? I have no idea. I have gotten away with a lot of things I've done bad in my life.
Don't confess any right now. We're live.
Yeah, they're all past their prime. No, I'm past my prime. They're past that statute of limits. Yeah,
So I was reading, are you in the Guinness Book of World Records?
yeah.
What
Not
did
for
you do?
anything I did, not for me. Oh no, I can't be in it for something good about me. No, that would be. I have to be in a group,
In a
the
group?
largest caroling group. Like
Get
anybody
out.
cares.
That's how many people?
Thousands. It was like Times Square was packed. I don't know how many. Are you noticing my
That would,
lights twitching? I think there's a ghost in my light.
I was gonna say, is there a poltergeist?
This is my bad karma coming back to talk to me.
No, you made the demon face and you triggered something. Linda Blair.
I know. I buy these things on offer up. This is my lamp. I don't know if you can see it. Not cooperating. I buy everything in my house is broken. Every single thing. It's like I'm
You didn't
living
show
with
the
myself.
lamp.
I'm broken. Everything I own is broken. The the frame fell off the picture. I ordered the couch and it's too short. It's too low to the ground. So I have it sitting on my nightstand. There's my nightstands holding up
Eh,
my couch.
Oh my God. Well, there were no legs on the couch?
They were like this, they were the couch is really small this way, and it had these, I don't know, 8-inch legs. I'm
So it's
sorry, I
kind of
don't
like
want to.
a corgi couch.
It's a corgi couch. I like that. Has a certain ring. Je
Okay,
ne sais quoi. I don't know what it has. I don't know French. I
you could say je ne sais quoi, and that works.
don't even know what it
So
means. I could,
are you able to stretch out on the couch?
yeah, and and
It
the
doesn't look.
and and it folds down.
Oh, that's perfect. Is that where you sleep, or do you actually have a bedroom? I know Vegas can be expensive.
Yeah, I have a bedroom, but it's no fun being in a bedroom by myself. Let's be real. You know,
Any
why do you
bachelors out there listening, this is a plea.
do you know I've been single since 1981?
What?
Yeah, yeah. You're
You're
looking at
just
the
a
lady that
player.
was married for 7 years, and in 7 years, I had one climax. I hate to say the word climax. I know things are tough out there. I could get censored for saying climax, but my marriage was nothing, nothing. So I
So
sleep
now
on
you're
the
living the
couch.
high life in Vegas.
I figure if a guy comes over to visit me, he's going to come back because of the picture. It's one of a kind.
Picture. That is a great picture.
And it's
And the red
mine.
lips make it look so much more real. Oh, that's you in the picture, not Marilyn.
So, getting back to this whole thing that happened in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, what was that like managing over in New Jersey, managing a club and getting to meet all kinds of East Coast heavy duty comics?
I never really wanted to be a club manager, but it was a great open door to the comedy world because, as I said, I'm a nervous person and I got bad stage fright when it comes to going on stage for a while. Before I did that, I was going up to stand up New York to do these bringer shows, and my ex used to come with me and say, "Why are you so miserable? Why do you do this to yourself?" But once I'm off stage, I was fine. I used to get such bad stage fright. but getting to work with headlining comedians and pros for that long as a manager, you just learn so much about the comedy world. You just it was a great insight,
Yes.
great education.
Tell me something that people nowadays, young comedians, young in comedy people, they should know based on the years you were around the business. What's something that's not translating to newer comedians that you'd like to see revived?
Honestly, I feel like it's a lot. I'm trying to think about a way to word this. I feel like a lot of young comedians. First of all, there is an oversaturation of comedy right now. But I've been to a few open mics in the area, and people seem to be generally supportive of each other. I mean, I like to tell people stop doing comedy, let make room for others. But yeah, I feel like a lot of comedians right now are very supportive of others. They're at least they're good at networking. They
Good
make
at
it seem
no.
like that because they're sticking to their time. They seem to be following the rules, and I feel like it's harder. I don't know what it's like in Vegas, but there's a lot of venues right now that allow for stand-up comedy. A lot of people are working in breweries and wineries besides just comedy clubs.
There's so many
Are
opportunities.
you following me?
I hear you.
Art. Yeah.
So
I
true.
mean, I've done a few shows regularly in art galleries now.
Wow. That's cool. In an art gallery. Wow. What's that like?
Yeah. You feel so cultured. But yeah,
Some
no,
of my
people
comedy
people
sets are
come
like
out.
Picasso's.
I don't understand that,
They're
but I like
scattered.
it. Oh, me too. I'm terrible with segues, so I'll just jump from one topic to another.
I love that. That probably fits your persona.
Kind of does. I'll get off stage thinking I did horrible, and people would come up to me and say, "Oh, I want to hear you do more. I loved your style. You were really," which is really nice to hear. I'm not just bragging. I'm really not. I'm just proud of it.
Yeah, I get it.
And I feel like I didn't answer your question, but
Oh no, you did. I feel
I'm
like you
thinking of
did
the
answer it.
comedians as I personally I love edgy and dirty and politically incorrect. But myself, I don't really I'm not it's not right coming out of my mouth when I do it, so I'm relatively on the cleaner side.
Which
So
so
yeah.
you prefer doing clean. I know Leslie Norris Townsend said she loves you, and she's, with the clean comedy challenge. So I assumed you were clean, but you enjoy watching not clean comedy.
I laugh at awkward moments. I laugh when things are really disturbing or like I relax by watching horror movies or disturbing stories or dark. I have a dark sense of humor because I'm surrounded. I mean, I'm afraid of everything. I can't even look at I can't even look at blood, which I think is natural. But when it comes to movies, that's my escape. That's
Nice.
my drug.
So you like
But
horror movies. So what's your favorite horror movie of all time? Or
oh,
horror,
there's
like
so many.
I got to meet Vincent Price.
No, I met his daughter, but not the man himself. That's amazing.
Can I
How
tell
did you
you
meet
this
him? Where?
story?
Please.
So I always wanted to meet celebrities. I grew up in Portland, Oregon. And I thought, where better to meet celebrities than the airport? So I got a job at a gift shop at the Portland airport. And one day, this disheveled man, tall, kind of looked like he'd been wearing the suit for about a month, walks in and I said, that's even either an old high school teacher or a movie star. And I don't know which. I got to get him to talk because there's something about his voice. I'll recognize him. You ever get that feeling if I can just get that person to talk, I'll figure out who they are? Just me. And so I
No,
said,
I get it.
he had two certs breath mints and he put them on the counter. Like he put them on the counter like very like decisively. Like this is what I'm gonna get. So I had to get him to talk. So I said, would that be all? I just said that to get him to talk. Obviously, that's all he wanted. And he goes, yes. And I go, oh my gosh, Vincent Price.
That is so cool. You
I
met
go,
one of the
this is
biggest
so
horror
cool.
icons of all time. I heard he was
That,
the nicest guy.
yeah. He
That is
already knew.
awesome.
I wasn't telling him anything he didn't know. He knew he was Vincent Price. I just realized it.
That is great.
That was so
Wow,
cool.
you're always gonna have that memory.
Who's your favorite horror person, horror movie? Tell me things you like about the horror world.
Well, growing up, my this one of the movies that scared me more than any was The Shining, of course, the shower scene, and
M. Night Shyamalan.
no, The Shining.
Who wrote that?
Oh, Stephen King.
Oh, okay.
But another Stephen King story haunted my dreams for years. And it was a made for TV movie, Salem's Lot.
Yeah. What was that
And
about?
there's a little kid, a town in Maine filled with vampires. And there's a kid outside the window on the second floor hovering, going, knocking on his friend's window. It was just the creepiest thing. I still to this day do not let my blinds open at night. Yeah, and because of that movie, I'm afraid of basements too, with the doors that open from the outside. Those big. And the Blob. The Blob scared me
I love the
because
blob.
the Blob was. It's such a hilarious movie, but it made me permanently afraid of beanbag chairs. So remember the first time I watched it, I was sleeping over a friend's house. We had a horror movie night, and I'm in bed and I see the silhouette of the Blob in the bedroom, and I was like, it was a beanbag chair. It was a red beanbag chair on the floor. Yeah,
All right, have
never.
you
Jaws was my first one.
you like Jaws?
Yeah, I still can't hang my feet off the bed because that's where the shark's gonna get me in bed. But because of that movie, I have to tuck my feet under the blanket every night. What were you asking? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I forgot. Who cares?
It's
It's
one of
just
my
a quick.
favorite horror characters. Oh, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
The way Jack Nicholson played the lead, Jack Torrance in The Shining, was just magical.
I don't know that. And what was the name of that movie?
That's in The Shining.
The Shining. I have to go watch it. I saw it, but I don't remember the scene.
He was great. I miss him. He's still alive, but you never see him anymore.
Yeah. His looks
Yeah.
have kind of
Sure.
changed. Um,
Well, I mean, it happens with age.
yeah.
I used to have no body fat.
What?
I used to have no body fat.
Yeah. I when I look at Jack Nicholson today, I think maybe he's on steroids because his, the structure of his face is different.
I think that with age.
Yeah.
There's the
So
big laugh I wanted to go out on, but no, just kidding.
so what do you think of like Jamie Lee Curtis? She's kind of like
I love
those
her.
aren't horror movies. They're just kind of like chick flick baby horror. They're not really like she's a legend in
Halloween?
her field, but it's not real horror, right?
So you don't like slasher?
Yeah, I don't know. It's in a, I'm asking you, isn't it a separate category from straight up horror?
I mean, a different type of horror movie. It's a slasher film. But I think the way in the first one they portrayed Michael Myers as just this killing machine who has no remorse and doesn't stop until you're dead. I think it adds a very creepy aspect to it. And you got me thinking, I think the reason I love horror so much is because I'm afraid of everything in real life. That you get that rush from the adrenaline rush from watching horror in the movie, and then it ends, and the credits roll, and you're fine. You're safe at home. Get it? And
That's that makes a lot of sense. I can see where horror movies would be great therapy for people who have
yes,
phobias.
I mean, the birds. I have a horrible fear of birds, and the movie did not help at all.
So Tippi Hedren is the aunt to the Hanslick family that went to my high school. Tippi came to a basketball game
Really?
when I was a freshman in high school.
Get out. You met Tippy?
No. Yeah, she's the
Oh, you
aunt
saw
to
her.
Heidi and Benny Hanslick, Dave Hanslick, all the Hanslicks at David Douglas in Portland, Oregon. She came to my high school.
That is so cool.
It was a big deal.
You kind of you saw a lot of horror icons in real life.
I did. And they were just everyday
Yeah,
people.
Tippy's a legend. She's still going.
Yeah. You know what she's doing in the last like 30 years? You know
No,
what she's been doing?
no.
Saving wildlife up in Northern California.
Love that. That is great.
Yeah.
Well, that's so good to hear. I'm glad she doesn't hold any grudges towards birds.
Yeah. Because that would be horrible, the poor birds, I don't even think they got paid. And they were uttering sounds. They should have all gotten SAG credit.
Hitchcock bastard.
What?
Is it? Am I speaking? I'm sorry. Is it hard to hear me?
I didn't hear what you said right then.
Hitchcock is a cheap bastard.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole lot of
I'm just
stories
kidding.
about him, aren't there?
Yeah, he didn't pay his birds. How dare he?
Did you like the
I hate to
Twilight
have to.
Zone?
I love the Twilight Zone. Yes.
Me too. That's
You know which one was the scariest to me?
mm-mm.
The woman who was the widow, and her phone kept ringing, and she'd answer in the middle of the night, and she'd hear hello, hello, and then she traced the call, and they're like, this phone call is coming from a dead line, and she went out and traced the phone, and it was going into her husband's grave, the wire. It was so creepy that episode.
I- Man, I think you're right on because I watched Twilight Zone when I was in high school, and my life was turmoil. Like everything going on around me was turmoil. And when I'd watch that, it would bring me peace. So I think you're onto something with the, horror movies or scary stuff makes you feel like, okay, you're going to be okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. Even I remember watching a documentary, and George Romero, who made Night of the Living Dead, George Romero said after September 11th, most popular movies to watch were horror films. People just needed that escape. They needed to feel something else that was intense. We have to do this again. We have to have the interview part two.
You got to go. So we'll cut it short. But you guys that you got to come in and watch something unique today. It wasn't structured. It was in the moment, very much riffing with each other. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to follow him on his social media, get out and watch him perform, click like to everything he's doing. Tell people if you have a YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything, and where
I
you're
want to
going to,
come back. Thank you so much.
I would love that. Where do people follow you? And where do people catch you performing this month?
I posted on the social medias on Facebook and Instagram. It's Super JPO, JPO, like JLo, because my sweet ass, Super JPO 71 on Instagram.
What is it again? Super J Po?
71.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that's the year I was born.
Jason from the block. I
Thank you
love
so much.
J
It was
Lo.
a delight for talking to you.
It was
For talking,
great. This
I
was
didn't word
so
that right.
fun. I'm going to be in New York City the 25th to the 29th.
Well, we're gonna have to meet up.
Let's have coffee. Do you like pie?
I would love that.
I like going to a diner and getting the tallest chocolate, heaviest, and eating a couple bites and just leaving it there. You can't get a couple bites. You got to buy the whole.
You
But
don't get this chin by not liking pie.
okay, I'm going to be looking forward to meeting with you. Have a great
You
day and
got
thanks
it.
for
Thank you
making my
so
day
much.
special, Jason. You guys, Jason
Thank you
Pollock.
for the same.
What?
Thank you for the same.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Marilyn says goodbye.
Goodbye, Marilyn. I'll see you in my dreams.
See you later. Bye.